As the final battle kicks off, the island's about to go full throttle into chaos. Super Season's been an absolute roller coaster. And now, we're staring down the barrel of the epic showdown between Dago and the superheroes. A battle that's about to reshape everything we thought we knew about this island. And trust me, if you thought things were wild so far, you haven't seen anything yet. First things first, we've got a full-on showdown brewing between Dago the Mask Maker and a brand new crew of super-powered heroes. But hey, every war has a beginning. So let's dive into the full story of Fortnite Super. To really get what's going down on the island of Oninoshima, we gotta rewind back. That's when Daigo realized he was the only one who could save Jade from the spirit realm. That moment kicked off the Demon Hunter's final event, where Daigo faced off against Shogun X, a demon sent to drain the island's energy. But Daigo, the man of 1,000 masks, won the fight and brought his sister back from the spirit realm. But here's where it gets crazy. While saving Jade, they discovered the actual 0-point shard had landed inside the spirit realm. And after that, Daigo snapped. He got obsessed with getting it back, convinced only he had the strength to use its power and protect the island. That obsession led straight to a deal with Fletcher Kane, a ruthless warlord who built his empire by stealing all the gold that surfaced during the last event. Daigo stepped through the portal and walked straight into a trap. Waiting on the other side, that same puppeteer who once controlled Night Rose now took over Daigo. That's when the Mask Maker was born, a twisted version who somehow found a way to return to our island. Remember when Big Dill dropped that mysterious shop on the map? Yeah, that was Demon Daigo creeping back in. And that explains why, during the Star Wars live event, another portal suddenly reopened in the mountains. While the whole island was caught in a galactic battle between the Empire and the Resistance, the Death Star locked onto Oninoshima. Palpatine? He didn't just want destruction, he wanted the island's loot. So he sent in Darth Vader, Captain Phasma, and legions of stormtroopers to take it. But Resistance fought back, led by Leia Organa, and with a plan to strike back hard. Hope and Jones led a Looper strike team right into the Death Star, pretending to be prisoners and guards to sneak inside. They reached the ship's core systems, sabotaged the shields, and gave their pilots a shot at blowing it up from the inside. But while they were escaping, boom, Palpatine shows up. Yeah, the Emperor tried to end it all with one final blast of Sith lightning, but right when all hope seemed lost, Hope, the character, pulled out a rift, threw it down like a shield, and bam, teleported the entire team off the Death Star just in time.
How did you know that would work?
I didn't!
Well, good work back there.
And that's how it all ties together. As we flew away, we looked back, just in time to watch our squad blow the Death Star to pieces, but not without consequences. The explosion sent debris raining down onto Oninoshima, and one of the fragments slammed straight into the Spirit Realm portal. That triggered a massive shockwave, knocking us all unconscious. Luckily, Superman was already on his way. Alarmed by the Death Star's destruction, he swooped in and rescued a group of kids stuck inside a downed battle bus. But here's the twist. The explosion did something. Every kid on board now had superpowers, and us, still unconscious, but not for long. That's where Fortnite Super officially begins. And trust me, the real problems are just getting started. A new corrupted version of Daigo has taken over the island. His old home, the peaceful Thousand Faces shop, is now a terrifying demon domain, guarded by demons wearing ancient power masks. At the top of that tower, Daigo himself. These masked soldiers have spread across the map, protecting strange spires that showed up overnight, and no one knows what they do. But let's be real, it won't be anything good. The dark force behind Daigo has realized something terrifying. Fortnite's not just one universe anymore. Since the end of 2023, we've seen millions of realities colliding at once, like the OG mode running parallel with this one. That's why we've got rifts in this season, and didn't have them back in Chapter 1 Season 4. Another world running at the same time? Lego Fortnite. Even there, the spires have started to appear. And Jones, who can now hop between realities, shows up in Lego form asking for help. Back in the main timeline, on Floating Island, we meet Core. You might remember her from Chapter 2, an assassin hired by the Imagined Order. But now, she's back, and working for Daigo. Mask Maker forged her a power mask, and she's helping the demon of 1,000 faces for a very tempting price. And if you want to help keep this story alive, just use my creator code PUNKED in the item shop. Seriously, it's the best way to support the channel. Now let's talk heroes. While the villains wage war on the island, Hope and Jones have built their own superhero academy. They brought in legends like Midas, and even a now liberated Night Rose as instructors. Oh, and Superman? Yeah, he brought in Robin straight from the DC universe. He's already handing out missions and putting rookies to the test with his mythic grapple. So, how do you join this school? Simple. Have superpowers, and a lot of people got theirs after the Star Wars event. That battle bus Superman saved? It was hit with some kind of magical burst, turning every passenger into a superhero. They were the first to enroll. Each kid has a unique gift. Killswitch turned into a full-on android. He can track enemy footsteps and slow down time while shooting. Haley Sky got her power from Fortnite's own storm. She can literally transform into a monster. And Ziggy? He didn't absorb any element from the island. He's a weird fusion of Summer Jonesy and a chameleon. Yeah, Fortnite's wild. And yeah, it looks like that's just the beginning of what these new powers can do. Next up, Morgan Mist. And honestly, she might just be the most powerful of the bunch. Not only did she gain powers, but she's diving headfirst into magic. Right now, there's already a few missions where you can track her shadows, and inside the academy, they're keeping her cloak locked away. Rumor has it unlocks some of the craziest abilities we've ever seen. And yeah, her evolution, her powers, and everything else in this story. I'll be covering all of it right here on the channel. So don't forget to sub, or you'll miss it when it drops. Now let's talk about Synthwave. We don't know much about her, but based on what we've seen, she was probably vibing with her headphones on when the blast hit. And boom, her power is now completely tied to music. And finally, there's Light Rider. She absorbed the raw energy of Fortnite matter. Yeah, those glowing blue cubes you see when players get eliminated, that stuff. And she shaped it into a power of her own, a custom hoverboard she can literally fly on. So now that we know the heroes and the villains of this season, we gotta dive deeper. Hope's asking for help investigating Core's mission. But to do that, we need to talk to Kendo, Daigo's brother, who's seriously worried about what happened to him after entering the spirit realm. Turns out, Daigo isn't acting on his own. He's being possessed by the puppeteer. That changes everything. Daigo's not the one trying to control all the realities. It's the dark entity from the demon world pulling the strings. So we report back to Hope, and she's got a plan. Destroy the spires, rescue Daigo, enter the demon realm, and defeat the dark presence once and for all. But get this, we're just getting started. The best part of this chapter's story, still ahead. And what's wild is how they're starting to link all of this into other modes, like Lego Fortnite, and even OG mode. Remember how I said they're happening at the same time? Now, over in Utopia City, people have found access to the Nexus, the same one from the Chapter 1 Season 8 finale. And guess what? OG just kicked off its own storyline, with a brand new visitor. Yeah, it's all starting to connect. I've got a theory, a big one. What if this is all leading to one massive final crossover event? A complete universe clash where every mode gets pulled in, resetting the lore, the characters, the entire story. Basically, a Fortnite 2.0. New era, new rules, everything changes. Too soon to say for sure, but if it's real, we're probably at least a year and a half away. But the secrets don't stop there. It looks like Daigo is trying to erase the boundary between Oninoshima and the spirit realm. And naturally, it's up to us, the newly empowered superheroes, to stop him. Our powers came from something called the Zero Pulse. What is that exactly? In the trailer, we saw a fragment of the Death Star crashing into Daigo's portal, which unleashed a wave of reality. That wave altered the genetic makeup of every living thing on the island and gave us superpowers. Reality waves can literally transform anything into anything else. The last time we saw something like this was way back in Chapter 2, Season 6, 4 years ago. So now we kind of get how we ended up with powers. But where did that wave even come from in the first place? I could try and stretch logic here, saying a fragment of the 0 point is hidden in the spirit realm and somehow triggered the wave. But let's be real, that sounds like a reach. Then again, we've seen weird. The real mystery is the portal to the epicenter, sitting right in the middle of Utopia City. What it's doing there is anyone's guess, but it strongly suggests the 0 point exists in this reality. Supporting that theory is the loop bubble surrounding Oninoshima. Even if you argue that bubble came from a fragment of the epicenter, we're still left staring at that portal, which is clearly going to play a huge role this season. If none of that made sense, maybe rewind 10 seconds and try again, though I can't promise it'll help. In any case, it's possible we'll enter that portal by the end of the season and either find the epicenter or just trigger another disaster. If you want a full breakdown of the storyline, let me know in the comments. If we hit 1,000 likes, I'll make a full lore deep dive. Now back to the Oninoshima. Let's kick things off with the map changes. And this time, they're actually massive. The most eye-catching new POI this season? Demon's Domain. Looks like Dago's been busy remodeling his lair, because now it's a cursed wasteland covered in swirling dark energy storms. Right at the center of it all stands a dojo. And yep, that's where Daigo himself hangs out. But the real story lies beneath the dojo. There's a portal, and if you stop and listen closely, you'll hear a voice whispering, Asmodeus. That's the name of a legendary demon. What he's doing in Fortnite, still unclear. But it sure seems like Daigo might be trying to summon him later this season. Next up, Utopia City. It replaced Seaport City and feels like a fusion between Neon Towers and Mega City. Right in the center is a giant golden orb and a portal that leads to, yep, the 0 point. The same one from Chapter 1 Season 8's vault. Aside from a diner with scary-looking burgers and an arcade, there's not a ton going on there just yet. Then there's the third new location, Supernova Academy, founded by Hope and Jones, funded by none other than Midas. It's a compact area, but packed with interesting stuff. DNA experiments on loopers, a hidden loot room, and hints about new labs showing up around the map later in the season. Speaking of that hidden room, you'll find it in the Academy's basement. To access it, you've got to activate a challenge. That'll unlock a target shooting parkour room. Pop all the red orbs, collect all the tokens, and boom. Another room opens up with up to 4 rare chests. Loot heaven. Oh, and while you're snooping around, you'll probably notice posters of Deadmau5, teasing his upcoming Fortnite Festival collab, dropping June 17th. Now here's a secret most players miss. To become a real superhero and take down Daigo, all you really need is my creator code, PUNKED. Join the Punked Side Squad and roll into battle fully charged up. Also, Superman's here, a new character who's, literally unkillable. No joke, he's fully invincible. Makes you wonder, why are we even training our own heroes if this guy could just solo Daigo and call it a day? Or maybe he can't? Place your bets in the comments, because the mystery's just getting started. Around the island, 9 superhero bunkers have appeared. They're locked for now, but odds are they'll be opening up in future updates. Now let's talk about Overlord Spire, the corrupted areas left behind after Daigo's creepy ritual. These zones are scorched, scattered with demonic stones, and sometimes even spawn mini-bosses. We'll get into those guys in a bit. As for Easter eggs at season launch, oh, there's plenty. First off, the frogs have officially clocked out. After completing their mission as part of the Resistance last season, they're now chillin' on vacation. The kids are smashing arcade games while the parents are deep into ping pong battles. Fingers crossed this whole demonic invasion doesn't mess with their R&R. Meanwhile, Kappa Kappa, the cucumber brand, is going all in on marketing. They bought up a section of the old tennis courts, set up snack stands, and plastered posters everywhere. Whoever's in charge of advertising deserves a raise. After Palpatine's defeat, Vader's Samurai Solitude ditched its futuristic vibe and went back to a style more like Season 1. Same with the AT-AT dinner, which lost most of its spacey charm, especially those iconic alien food bots. Oh, and if you're wondering why the train's not running this season, it's simple, landslide near Crime City. The tracks are blocked, and the train can't get through. Classic Fortnite chaos. Also, someone left out a bunch of cardboard cows near the site. One even got almost crushed. So yeah, no joyrides till they clear the tracks. As for Fletcher Kane's mansion, something's up. Either it's completely abandoned, or a new owner's moving in. The furniture's all boxed up, like it's ready for a move. But the most important thing, the statue with glowing eyes is still standing. So yeah, we're still waiting for that gun to finally go off. And finally, if you poke around the Supernova Academy offices, you'll spot personalized rooms for both Jonesy and Hope. In Hope's office, a mysterious postcard, maybe from Chapter 5's island. In Jonesy's, classic photo frames, and even a John Jones nameplate. Not gonna lie, this whole setup hits hard with those Chapter 2 Season 2 flashbacks, especially the first time we ever stepped into his office during the live event. Just outside Foxy Floodgate, there's a briefcase called the Suitcase of Patience. And yeah, you'll need plenty of it. If you're stepping away or got nothing to do, this is your moment. The case takes a full 10 minutes of real time to open, and once it finally pops, a bunch of jellies jump out and gift you some sweet epic loot. Total Easter egg material. But if you think that's the weirdest part, not even close. Down south, near the Shining Span, you'll stumble across two bush-shaped hands playing catch with another bush. Yep, Fortnite's being Fortnite. Let's not interrupt their game. And hey, if I missed any other hidden secrets, you know the drill, hit the comments. Now on to gameplay. The first big new feature this season is the hero rank system. Every player starts at a base rank and can level up all the way to S+. It increases based on in-game actions. Elimination, revives, assists, you name it. Each time you rank up, you instantly get healed for 100 GP and unlock access to special hero stashes. The higher your rank, the better the loot. The second new mechanic is boons. There are only 4 in the game right now, but the files hint at a total of 19 on the way. These aren't just for show, they're actually useful. Some grant shields in the storm, others heal while running, or even reveal enemy locations. Again, higher rank means stronger effect. You can find offerings in chests or buy them from labs at the Supernova Academy. Third, and most exciting for many, hero superpowers. Right now there are 4. 2 are solid, 2 are meh. Tracking Visor highlights enemies through walls with a 25-second cooldown. Super clutch in duels or hectic fights. Base boost might be the best item of the year. It trolls sweaty builders, breaks boxes, and gives you vertical movement. Once I realized its power, I started running it every match. Especially good in zero build. Gonna miss it when it's gone. Mist gauntlets are decent in early game against unarmed players, but kind of useless later on. Kill switch revolvers sound cool, but can easily backfire. When you hover midair using them, you turn into an easy target. Stylish, sure, but deadly for you. If you found a solid way to use them right, let me know. And finally, from the new weapons, the Spire rifle stands out. It shreds through builds and bunkers like paper, perfect for breaking boxed campers or clearing cover in just a few shots. One thing's for sure, between the hero system, powers, and new loot, this season is anything but dull. The Hyperburst pistol is more of a niche pick. If you're good at aiming, which clearly isn't the case for me, the damage can be pretty solid. Epic also added new unstable weapons that apply unique effects to regular guns. For example, the unstable Yoink shotgun pulls enemies closer. Crypto's treat is basically a reworked junk rift that summons a cosmic dog to deal area damage, while Robin's Bat Grapple is a slick movement tool that functions like Batman's grapnel gun. You can buy it from Robin for 600 gold, which makes it a luxury item, not something you'll have every game. In this season, pretty much everyone on the island has superpowers now, including the spirits of air and water. They've evolved into the Dash Sprite and the Superman Sprite. The first gives you 3 short-range dashes, while the second lets you shoot lasers from your eyes, burning enemies just like Butcher in The Boys. And yes, that reference deserves a like. The big highlight, though, is the Demon Invasion. Daigo came back from the Spirit Realm with some nasty friends. At the beginning of each match, spires spawn and start draining energy from Oninoshima. There are small spires that drop average loot, and larger ones that offer top-tier rewards, including exotic for the whole squad. They're tough to beat, but if you destroy the surrounding shards first, the fight becomes a lot easier. Bosses have also been updated. Demon Daigo is annoying but not impossible. He constantly regens his shield, but if you knock off his masks, he collapses and leaves himself vulnerable, giving you a solid damage window. He drops a mythic tower rifle and an infernal medallion that restores half your shield and speeds up reloads. And then there's Core, a new boss confirming a leak I mentioned earlier. She shows up in the second storm circle on the Rift Island, jumps between platforms, turns invisible, and hits hard. Her boss fight feels way more dynamic than anything we've had recently. Not just spamming attacks, but actually creating an atmosphere. If you beat her, you get a mythic rifle and a medallion that gives you invisibility and boosts your jump height. It's not as strong as Daigo's loot, but still pretty useful. All in all, this season is packed with chaotic fights, high mobility, and some genuinely creative mechanics. Season 3 kicked off strong. The new content feels fresh, the mechanics are dope, and we've got a ton of updates ahead. For example, storyline fans have something to celebrate. Daigo and Core are finally getting full voice lines this season. According to IMDb, Fortnite has updated its voice cast and now includes Brent Mukai as the voice of Daigo and Shelby Young as Core.